Welcome to our adventure from the north to the south rim in the Grand Canyon. We'll show you our ups and downs, what went right and what went wrong. This hike tested our strength, determination, and physical fitness. Most importantly, you'll see some beautiful views along the way. So come join us along this adventure and don't forget to like and subscribe. We started our journey from the South Rim, taking the Trans Canyon Shuttle to the Kaibab Lodge. We spent one night on the North Rim before doing the Rim to Rim. If you want to see more of the North Rim, check out our last video. Good morning. These are our supplies that we're going to bring for our Rim to Rim hike. So starting from the corner, we have just some clothes, so we know that it's going to be a little bit cold on the North Rim, so we are bringing sweaters. We got our long sleeve to protect from the sun, and then extra pair of socks, some sandals, because our plan was to stop at Ribbon Falls. And then we have some really nice towels that we got on Amazon. These help with cooling. You can get them wet, but also they're quick dry. And then of course we have our headlamps. We're starting pretty early in the morning, 4:30 a.m. And so we're going to need those. And then we have our filter. So this is great. We actually use this in Yosemite when we didn't bring enough water and we were able to drink from a waterfall. So that comes in handy if you need it for emergencies. Sunglasses, some more electronics. We are bringing cold packs. So these stay cold for probably about 15 minutes. All you have to do is pop the inside and they can get pretty decently cold, just in case with the heat. And then plenty of snacks. So we have electrolytes, we have chews, we have granola bars, we have some nuts to bring, some complete cookies, some bread, and then also sandwiches to bring, some fruit. These are sandwiches for when we're going to the North Rim, and also some sandwiches so we can eat. And then water, of course, one of the most important parts. So we have some electrolytes and Gatorades. We also have bladders, about 2.5 liters each for the backpack. And then we have our additional water bottles. And then we have some extra Gatorades. And then these are our backpacks with our hats. So you definitely need sun hats to protect against the sun. It does get really hot. We are hiking in June, so the sun can get pretty intense, and it's supposed to be over 100 degrees in the canyon. So you need your sun hats, you need your water. And then we did a hike into the Grand Canyon a few years ago, and we did not have trekking poles, and we would highly recommend that you also bring some trekking poles. Going downhill, you really start to feel it after a few hours. So these, I think, will be lifesavers. So that's our gear for the hike. We also brought ibuprofen, some liquid bandages, some regular Band-Aids, and sunblock. So some quick kind of tips and tricks that we're learning for this hike is that, number one, bring plenty of water. We're hiking here in early June, and the sun exposure and the heat, it gets about 10 degrees hotter in the canyon than it is at the rim. And on the rim, it's already pretty hot with the sun. The sun is pretty intense because you're higher up, especially on the North Rim. From the top of the South Rim to the Colorado River edge, the canyon measures almost a vertical mile deep, more than 3 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other. Good morning. We are up bright and early for our 4 a.m. shuttle, so let's head to the trailhead. This is an overview of the first half of our hike. We're starting at the North Kaibab trailhead at an elevation of 8,240 feet. We'll show you these main points along the way, including the Coconino Overlook, Supai Tunnel, Redwall Bridge, Manzanita Rest House, Cottonwood, Ribbon Falls, and Phantom Ranch.
We are on the North Kaibab trailhead, heading down to Phantom Ranch and then up the South Kaibab trail to the South Rim.
Notes for the going down the North Rim Trail, the North Kaibab Trail. Start super early. It is cold. Bring a sweater. And you also start at altitude, about 8,000 feet. So just be aware of some altitude changes when you're going up or down or spending the night. Point, the Coconino Overlook. It's actually really close to the top. Great views. You can walk out to the ledge. It's about 4:45 a.m. and we're going to continue on. Then you can still catch the dusk. Water station. So they have a bathroom and an outhouse at this first stop. Oh, this is cool. Sky tunnel. That's where we're headed, all the way down there, and you see the trail. You cross the bridge and then go across the canyon all the way down into the canyon. Look at this little part. So this is bridge number 1 that we're crossing. We're probably about 4.5 miles in. Nice downhill, great views once you get like 2, 3, 4 miles in. You get all the colors in the canyon and lots of like bright reds and green. So, so far so good. Beautiful hike.
This is the trail we keep following through. As you make your way into the canyon, you can see it gets a bit more arid.
You can hear the river down below.
We made it to the first rest stop, Manzanita Rest Area, about 5.1 miles in. Here they had bathrooms, shade, and drinking water. This is a great place to soak up some views while you take a rest.
Manzanita, Ribbon to Cottonwood to Ribbon Falls, and then Phantom Ranch. the crossing of bridge number 2, just past Manzanita Rest House. They have water there, and you get this beautiful little bridge. Continuing on the trail, we passed Manzanita. It's about 7:45 and the sun is finally out. I'm not gonna feed you, but you are big.
As you get closer to Phantom Ranch, you notice that it gets more and more desert-like. The heat also starts to rise as you get to the inside of the canyon. Try not to get caught in this area during the peak heat of the day. As you can see, there's very little shade. If you're up for an additional challenge, we stopped at Ribbon Falls before heading to Phantom Ranch. This is about 8 miles into your North Rim hike. About 1.5 miles from Cottonwood, you'll see a sign for Ribbon Falls on your right.
I think you can try that here. You can try. You want to try?
Yeah.
So look, step here. Next step there. There, there, there.
Okay.
You think you can make it?
I think I can make it.
You have to do a few stream crossings to get to the falls. Once you get across the stream, you'll notice a trail that veers off to the right and then loops back around to the left and into another canyon, and that's where you head up to see Ribbon Falls. You'll see signs along the way. We did run into some people that had turned around because the trail was not well marked once you cross the stream, but you'll see the trail if you just keep looking and going up, and it's definitely worth trying to find it. After about 1.5 miles and a few small scrambles, the view opens up to Ribbon Falls.
It feels good just being here. Ribbon Falls. Oh my gosh, it doesn't even look real.
Is it as cold as the Merced River? Is it as cold as the Merced River in California? Was it California or was it Utah?
Oh my gosh. Once we finished cooling down in the falls, we headed back to the main trail. To loop back, you head to the same sign that we showed before and then make a right. You'll have to make several stream crossings to get back.
What is this, number 3 or 4? Ridge number 3.
Now we're headed into the notorious box. It is known for having some of the hottest temperatures in the canyon. It's recommended to get through this part before the heat of the day. This is where I really started to notice the heat. Luckily, there is shade along the way.
No, I just totally overheated.
Okay, we made it to the box area. So far not too bad. Pretty hot. We stopped at Ribbon Falls. Even though it adds mileage, I mean, it was definitely worth it. It's beautiful. Bridge number 4 or 5.
It's about 5.5 miles through the box to get to Phantom Ranch from Ribbon Falls. We finally made it to the end of the box and into Phantom Ranch. Our main goal was to get out of the heat and into the canteen to get some lemonade. Inside, there's air conditioning, which is a lifesaver. You can also purchase necessities, food, and snacks. This is where they have their communal dinners, and you can find rangers here. You can purchase postcards that they carry up by mules. After hiking and getting through the heat, this is the best Minute Maid lemonade you will ever have in your life.
The best lemonade
Ever.
After getting a well-deserved lemonade and meal, it was time to start our journey upwards.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Here you can see the Black Bridge, which connects to the South Kaibab Trail leading up. We had to take this path instead of our initially planned Silver Bridge to the Bright Angel Trail. A few years back, we did go down the South Kaibab and it is absolutely stunning. We'll show you some shots later in this video. Going up was not as fun.
Hiking up the South Kaibab, we decided to wait until about 4:30 to let it cool down, and now we're getting some shade and a little breeze. It was like 103 plus in the canyon, so pretty unsafe to actually hike the canyon midday. The rangers weren't even letting people go until a certain time just because of how hot it was. But now we're excited to get out. We're gonna get out really late and we'll see how the rest of it goes. Yeah, if it's like this, I can. Okay, Lola, tell them what's going on.
Por la Ribera, we are on our way to the tip-off. We are probably half a mile to it, maybe 3/4. The sun has been relentless, but we're still pushing up slowly, so it's slowly going down. So we should be cruising pretty soon.
Hopefully. Yeah, it's been really hot going up, even though we waited, and thank goodness for ice packs have really helped. But it's still extremely hot. So we were going slow. Lola has way too much energy, but I am struggle busting here all the way to the top.
I think my training is really working. We made it to the tip-off. Right now we got 4.5 miles to the top. So that should be between 2 to 3 hours to make it.
I did want to reiterate some of the advice from the sign. Water and electrolytes are given, but also food. So when you're hiking, your body suppresses your appetite, but it's still important to get calories in because we burned over 7,000 calories on this hike.
We still have to get all the way up there.
As the sun started to set, it was honestly really relaxing to see the moon and the stars in the Grand Canyon. Since we took that long break at Phantom Ranch, we knew we would be coming out in the dark. So since we couldn't get much footage in the dark, we hope you enjoy some prior clips when we did our hike from the South Kaibab down to the Bright Angel a few years back.
I believe this is a mile and a half into it. See the ridges. Yeah, so another 4.5 miles. 5 to the bottom.
finished the rim to rim hike, and that took us a long time up the South Kaibab, and it was painful. We'll show you some clips and definitely give you some tips and tricks. We made some amazing memories during this bucket list hike. Over the course of the 19 hours, we hiked 27 miles. We had elevation loss and gain of over 10,000 feet. We met some amazing people and had an experience of a lifetime. For avid hikers, we can't recommend this hike enough. Make sure you train, prepare, and if going in the summer, be aware of the heat. Thanks for coming along on this journey with us. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos.